Okay, we are live from Dallas. I'm Diego Sanchez, president of Housing Wire, and I'm joined today by Joe Marsocci, senior director of mortgage at FICO. Thanks for joining us today, Joe.
Thank you, Diego. It's great to be here.
First off, congratulations on winning a Housing Wire Tech Trendsetter Award. That's awesome.
Thanks, Diego. Yeah, it's really an honor to be recognized by Housing Wire for that award, alongside so many other great contributors to our industry.
So before we dive in, what is your role at FICO?
Our team has 10 team members with experience across different sectors of the mortgage industry, so capital markets, credit risk, origination, servicing, and the tech space. And I was really excited to join FICO and the MCM team. I spent 20 years of my career at several different lenders helping consumers, and I love what we do. And now I'm able to help clients utilize the FICO score more effectively and make it a win-win for lenders, investors, and customers.
And you're going through a little bit of an evolution right now in terms of your scoring model at FICO. What exactly is FICO Score 10T?
10T is our newest scoring model. Really, it's kind of our continual innovation to address market and data advancements, and it provides continuity with the other FICO score versions now in use. So, FICO comes out with new versions every few years. The mortgage industry has just been on the classic FICO score since the 90s. And so the 10 in 10T stands for trended data. And it's really looking at a person's use of credit over a 24-month time period. So it changes from that single snapshot in time and captures behaviors over a longer period. And we know with the changes in consumer behaviors, it's a great representation of where we are today. And the research that we're doing is showing that 10T provides about a 5% lift in loan approval rates over the classic FICO score without additional credit risk. So lenders can better control their default rates. I spent a large portion of my career focused on credit risk. And so I had the opportunity to manage or play a role in the entire origination system. And to know that I can get a lift in approvals while maintaining a strong risk profile was very comforting for me. I just wish it was around when I was still in lending. So, but getting both more loans and less risk is really like magic.
And can you tell us a little bit more about how your team is amplifying awareness about FICO Score 10T?
Of course, yes. Some people don't even realize that FICO is an independent, publicly held company, not a government organization. So our team is focused on bringing awareness to new innovative tools like the recently announced FICO Score Mortgage Simulator. That simulator helps would-be borrowers understand how taking certain actions may impact their FICO scores. And now we have several lenders that are utilizing it today. But to talk about the value of the score across the ecosystem, because of the FICO score, a borrower can apply for a loan, and second later, the loan officer can quote a price up front. That's pretty significant. So they know which products borrowers are eligible for based on different FICO score guidelines for various mortgage products. And for investors, it's a primary factor in determining a loan's risk profile, cash flow predictability, and liquidity, accurately identifying charge-offs and prepayment risk or risk of default. And I also want to talk about how pricing works because it's very critical. In terms of FICO pricing, we collect a wholesale royalty of $4.95 for the score used to originate a mortgage loan. It's only a small percentage of the $80 to well over $100 tri-merge bundle costs. And that score is used many times more in places like product decisioning, loan and mortgage insurance pricing, loss modeling, loan pooling, and so much more. All where today FICO generally doesn't collect any additional amounts beyond the per score amount collected for the initial origination use. So we are constantly finding ways to make the FICO score model more powerful, predictive, and useful, like with FICO Score 10T.
And huge in this environment where it has been difficult to originate for the past couple of years. So you mentioned the increase in approval rates. Are there any other benefits that are involved with FICO Score 10T?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously the lift in approvals that we talked about. There's also conversely, because of that trended data, a reduction in kind of overall defaults. So we see about a 17% reduction in default rates, which is also a huge benefit for our lenders. And so those two things together. There's also different treatments that we could go kind of deeper into the score on the way medical collections are captured, the way additional users on credit cards. So authorized users are treated differently. So kind of things that we see. So one of the things I've said before is, we when we look at kind of the way that the GSEs had set up their AUS systems, they've been capturing trended data in their AUS for years. So now with the 10T score, the consumers get that benefit on the score side of it as well. So certainly a great addition to the industry when it gets adopted.
And I understand that you're already rolling out this new model with clients.
Yeah, we are. So currently we have about 25 lenders that are currently utilizing and pulling the score. Right now, we're encouraging everyone to start utilizing it as much as they possibly can to benefit to get the benefits of our early adopters are already seeing. And today, lenders can start getting 10T alongside of their existing credit score. So if they're pulling the FICO score, we're giving 10T alongside of that. So they can start evaluating the performance of their own portfolios to see the value that FICO score 10T brings for them. And today we're already seeing lenders use it on jumbo loans, VA loans, DSCR loans, non-QM loans, so kind of that non-GSE production. A few of those lenders, just to give you a list, is United Wholesale Mortgage is one, Planet Home, Cross Country, Cardinal Financial, and then several banks, credit unions, and other lenders. And one of the things I do when I meet with lenders in the industry, I talk about kind of how I ended up here at FICO. So I spent years doing community reinvestment or CRA lending, and I also worked in commercial lending and focused on workforce housing. So for me, providing individuals with a roof over their head has always been a driving factor. So coming to FICO allowed me to transition from doing this one lender at a time and now helping multiple lenders at once, reaching even more consumers. So it was a no-brainer for me to come here. It's funny, I have a teenage daughter who, now that she's getting older, she hears a little bit more of kind of what I'm doing, what I'm talking about. And so she now says she wants to do the same thing that I'm doing, which she's only on career choice, I think, number 8 at this time. So we certainly have a long way to go. But at least with the teenager, I blame half my gray hair on her and then the other half on our kind of industry. So, it's a win for me.
Well, and hey, we need fresh blood in mortgage, so that is a
That's
win.
right. Second generation, right? It's necessary.
Absolutely. And those are some big lenders that are already testing out this new model.
Yeah, I think it makes up for about $264 billion in originations and about $1.4 trillion in servicing portfolios. So yeah, significant numbers there.
So your team also looks at the capital market side. What has the capital markets appetite been for FICO Score 10T?
Yeah, there's a lot of excitement around the new scoring model and the capital market space. So securitizing on 10T, offers a more predictable cash flow and greater liquidity for all type of securitized assets, not just mortgages. So we also see it in auto loans, personal loans, credit, and the ABS market. And really, that more predictable cash flow equals more value. So FICO Score 10T has the potential to increase the overall value of the mortgage-backed security as an investment instrument. And since MBS is a global investment, it makes perfect sense to use the FICO score that is universally accepted and is expected to become the universal standard for investors. And we also recently announced the FICO partnership with MCT, Mortgage Capital Trading, which I think a lot of our industry is familiar with. And FICO Score 10T loans are now actively trading on the MCT marketplace.
Yeah, digging in a little bit there. Last year, Cardinal Financial issued the first MBS that was entirely composed of loans that were decisioned on FICO Score 10T. What do you think that issuance means for the broader mortgage ecosystem?
Yeah, that's correct, Diego. Cardinal was one of the first lenders to adopt FICO Score 10T for its non-GSE loans and began utilizing the score model to originate VA loans in October of last year. And they reported that the majority of the borrowers received higher credit scores with the use of FICO Score 10T, allowing for more favorable loan terms to be offered with no observable increase in credit risk. And then in November, they formed and traded their first mortgage-backed security, decision by FICO Score 10T, to a primary dealer that traded that same day. So the new score not only improves credit risk transparency for the investors, but this first MBS also expanded home ownership opportunities for military members, veterans, and their families. And we also have early adopters like Primis who are actively trading FICO Score 10T loans in addition to VA on MCT's platform. So needless to say, we're seeing a lot of traction in the market with positive results. And investors should really think about updating their buy guides, especially for the non-QM and portfolio loans, to leverage FICO Score 10T so they're not missing out on quality loans.
Who should lenders go to, whether they're clients or prospects, if they're interested in starting to integrate FICO Score 10T?
Yeah, certainly we want to connect with everyone in the mortgage ecosystems, not just lenders, to help them minimize risk and maximize profitability. So we encourage lenders, servicers, and investors to reach out to our mortgage and capital markets team. And for more details, they can go to fico.com/FICO Score 10T or email us at ficoscoreinfo@fico.com. And we also attend a number of industry events. So come find us at any time or schedule some time to connect in person.
Well, Joe, it's been really good catching up with you this morning. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Diego, for the opportunity. It's been great.